My servant, trustworthy servant, I'm going to send you to go find the girl by my birthplace and marry that girl on behalf of Yitzchak. As Rabbi Rossi explained last week, if I want to, I can take a ring, give it to a messenger, tell that messenger, do me a favor, go marry a girl, in New York for me, and that messenger can marry that girl on my behalf. Now that woman is married to me. So Eliezer was acting the same way. Eliezer was acting as a messenger for Yitzchak, and Eliezer was marrying a girl for Yitzchak on Yitzchak's behalf. So before he left, Avram made Eliezer take a shul. He said, whatever you do, don't take a girl from Canaan. The nation of Canaan, the cursed, don't take a girl from Canaan. So as Eliezer was going, we all know the story, he saw Rivka, and he saw a lot of miracles that happened with Rivka, and she was a big Balas Chesed. And he said, this is the girl that I'm going to marry for Yitzchak. So before you meet, before you agree to marry a girl, you have to meet the family. So he goes, he meets Lavan, the brother of Rivka, and Besul, the father of Rivka, and he starts speaking to them. And like any good host, what do? They try to poison him. They try to kill him, right? Baruch Hashem, they're unsuccessful. And Amalek came, and instead of Eliezer eating the food full of poison, Amalek came and switched that food of poison, and the Amalek gave it to Besul, and Besul, the father of Rivka, ended up eating the poison. So we say in the Haggadah every year that Lavan bikesh la'akar sakol. That Lavan tried to kill all of Klal Yisrael. So the Vilna Gaon explains, where do I know that Lavan tried to kill all of Klal Yisrael? So he says from this incident, from the fact that Lavan tried to poison and kill Eliezer, by doing that he tried to kill all of Klal Yisrael. So everyone's scratching their heads. Okay, I mean you feel bad for Eliezer, right? You don't want him to die, but Yitzchak was right. He was sitting in his tent. He was learning. He was fine back at home. So how by killing Eliezer would Lavan be really killing and uprooting and destroying all Klal Yisrael? So he explains like this. Let's say, for example, Georgie, right? Georgie over here. He wants to get married to a nice Russian girl, right? But he's busy. It's 3 a.m. Right? He doesn't have time to go, so he hires Boris, right? Boris is agent. He says, you know what? Do me a favor. Go to Russia. I need a good Russian girl. Once I'm here, I'm working out, right? and please marry her on my behalf. You're gonna be my messenger. Please marry her. So what happens? Boris goes to Russia or Moscow, and we're not sure what happened, but all we know is that KGB caught up with Boris and took care of Boris, killed Boris. So now we don't know what happened. It could be, let's say Boris went and successfully married a girl on George's behalf, let's say, and then subsequently Boris was killed. So now George is married to a girl in Moscow now, he doesn't know about, but we don't know who the girl is because Boris can't come back and tell her who that girl was. So now Georgie can't get married to any other girl in the world. Why? What are you worried about? That two sisters can't marry, or you can't marry a woman and her mother. Could be, let's say Georgie married Olga, right? And now she wants to. Boris didn't. Boris not coming back, and he wants to marry Masha. But Masha could be sister to this Olga. And really, any girl in the world could technically be a relative to the person that Boris married on behalf of Georgie. Now Georgie's stuck and really can't get married to anyone because everyone could be a relative to the girl that Boris tried to marry for Georgie. So because of this, let's say Lavan was successful in killing Eliezer. Avram didn't know when Eliezer would have died. So for all Avram knew, Eliezer was successful. He married a girl for Yitzchak on Yitzchak's behalf. Then subsequently he got killed, and now we don't know who that girl is. Now every single girl out there could possibly be a relative to that girl, and now Yitzchak wouldn't be able to get married to any girl in the whole world. So by doing that, by killing Eliezer, Yitzchak would be stuck, and that would be really destroying all Klal Yisrael. Once Yitzchak can't get married, he's one of the Avos, the patriarchs. If he can't get married to anyone, that's the end of Klal Yisrael. So by Lavan trying to kill Eliezer, he's really killing all of Klal Yisrael. That's what the Vilna Gaon explains. One can ask, we said that before Eliezer went to find a shidduch for Yitzchak, Abraham made him swear that you better not take a girl from Canaan. Canaan is out of the picture. right? Get a girl from anywhere else, but not Canaan. So the question is, you're right, Canaan might not be the optimal choice. But Avram and Yitzchak knew for certain that Eliezer didn't take a girl from Canaan, because that was part of the oath, that was part of the shvuah that Eliezer promised to Avram, to Yitzchak, that he wouldn't take a girl from Canaan. So technically, why wasn't Yitzchak able to, even let's say Eliezer would have got killed, let's say. Why, maybe Eliezer would be able to now go marry, a second choice. He's already 40, right? He's getting older. He can't be so picky. Right? Why can't he marry a girl from Canaan and through that create Klal Yisrael? So how can you prove that by killing Eliezer, that Lavan tried to kill all of Klal Yisrael? So we know before Eliezer left, Eliezer asked, this is a great idea, Avram. I'm going to find a shidduch for him, but let's say they don't agree. Let's say I go to Lavan Basul or anyone's house, and I try to marry them on behalf of Yitzchak, and they say, that's not how we do it here. We need a resume, I need a picture, I need something, right? So, and he would have to, go back home. What is he supposed to do? So Avram said, if the girl doesn't want to come back with you, you're absolved from the whole shvuah. And Rashi adds in, not only are you absolved from the whole shvuah, you can marry a girl from Canaan. That's what Rashi adds in. So it comes out from here that technically Eliezer, after he went to let's say Lavan Besul, and let's say it wouldn't work out with Rivka, he was technically able to marry a girl on Yitzchak's behalf in Canaan. So technically he could have went back, married a girl in Canaan, and now Yitzchak is stuck. He can't get married to any other girl, and also a girl from Canaan. So according to Rashi, we can explain how Lavan, by killing Eliezer, try to destroy and uproot all Klal Yisrael. Question is, the Ramban says, right, Yoni? Ramban in this week's parsha, famous Ramban, right, the famous one. He says that Eliezer had no right to marry a girl on Yitzchak's behalf from Canaan. That even if a girl wouldn't come back with Eliezer back to Yitzchak's house, he still wasn't able to take anyone from Canaan. So according to the Ramban, how do we understand how Lavan tried to kill all of Klal Yisrael? Technically, right, we have this second option. If Eliezer would be found dead somewhere, Avram can know for certain now that Eliezer for sure didn't take a girl from Canaan, because it wasn't part of the deal at all for Eliezer to take a girl from Canaan, even if it didn't work out with another woman. So, with this, and the Rosh Kol wanted to answer, that you're right. Physically, Yitzchak would be able to marry a girl from Canaan, because he can know that Eliezer didn't take a girl from Canaan, because Eliezer didn't have any right to take a girl from Canaan for Yitzchak. However, that's very good physically, he could get married. But Canaan, they were cursed. So the Avos, or the patriarchs, they were the foundation of Klal Yisrael. In order to have a foundation of Klal Yisrael, spiritually, it has to be in pristine condition. If Yitzchak would have married a girl from Canaan, so very nice. He would have gotten married, and maybe they would have children. But Klal Yisrael can never come out of a union between someone who's cursed and not cursed. So by now, if Eliezer with Lavan would be successful in killing Lavan, then if Lavan would be successful in killing Eliezer, just make sure you pay attention. Thank you. Then you're right. Technically Yitzchak can get married to go from Canaan, but Klal Yisrael spiritually can never come out of such a union. All right, that's one piece. All right. Second thing, we explained that Eliezer was acting as a shliach on behalf of Yitzchak. So when he went to Rivka and he finalized the deal, he was actually getting married to Rivka on Yitzchak's behalf. So it was like Yitzchak, right, was getting married to Rivka right there where Eliezer met her. So we know there's a concept. Let's say, for example, a woman is not chayav to give a bris milah. Right, Rabbi Stella spoke about this. A woman is not obligated to have a bris milah, nor is she obligated to give her son a bris milah. So she has no connection to the mitzvah of bris milah. So simply speaking, you can't make a woman a shliach, a messenger, to give a bris milah, since she has no connection to the mitzvah. You can only make someone a messenger if they have a connection to a mitzvah. So Avram and Yitzchak, they were Jewish. Eliezer was not Jewish. A Jewish matrimony, right, is not the same thing as a non-Jewish matrimony, right? And Eliezer wasn't a bar kedushin. So if that's the case, how could Eliezer be a messenger for Yitzchak to marry a girl on behalf of Yitzchak if Eliezer himself didn't have any connection to a Jewish marriage? In order to be a shliach, you have to have connection to a Jewish marriage. So I saw in the Gvuras Yitzchak, he wants to say like this, that there's two concepts. There's a concept of a shliach. When a shliach goes and a messenger goes and performs, right, does his task, he has his own identity. So if let's say Eliezer would go and he would perform the marriage as a shliach, so we view him as Eliezer. Eliezer is going out and performing that marriage, and we just attribute the act back to Yitzchak. But an Eved acts very different. An Eved, let's say I tell my Eved to do something. Let me explain a little differently. An Eved is really a slave is an extension of the master. It's a Yad Eved ki Yad Rabbi. So let's say an Eved goes and picks up a lost object on the floor. It was hefker, didn't belong to anyone. Who owns that object now? The master. Why? Because now when the Eved picks up the lost object, we view it as if the master picked up the lost object. The Eved, the slave, is so to speak a third hand of the master. Now, that doesn't work. That's not how it works in shlichus. In a regular messenger, that's not how it works. We don't view the messenger as the person who sent him himself. So we can understand that maybe that Avram, when Eliezer was sent to marry Rivka, he wasn't sent as a shliach, as a messenger. Rather, he was sent as an Eved. We view it as if now Avram himself, since Avram was the master, gave the command to Yitzchak, to Eliezer to marry a wife for Rivka. We view it as Avram himself went and married a girl on behalf of Yitzchak, because Eliezer is the messenger, is the Eved, is the third hand of Avram. Right. And with that, we can also explain. It's very interesting, very peculiar over here. Right? Yitzchak is the one who's getting married. There's no mention of Yitzchak in this whole thing, right? We don't it's kind of like out of the picture. Like I don't know if I want to get married. It had some involvement, I think, right? So why wasn't Yitzchak involved? So with this, we can answer the question that if Yitzchak would have asked Eliezer to go and marry a girl on his behalf, so that would have been a regular shlichus. Because why? Because a regular messenger. Because Yitzchak was not the master of Eliezer, right? He just lived in the same house. So if he would have sent him, he wouldn't be sending Eliezer as a slave, as an Eved. Rather, he'd be sending him as a regular shliach. If he was a regular shliach, then Eliezer would not be able to perform the task because he's not someone who is connected to the mitzvah of a Jewish marriage. As opposed to if Avram commanded Eliezer to go, so it's not Eliezer wouldn't be going as a regular messenger. He'd be going because he was commanded by his master. And now we view it as Eliezer is Avram himself. Avram himself is now getting married to Rivka on Yitzchak's behalf, right? Because it was a master commanding the slave to. It was the master commanding the slave to get married. And it was a different type of messenger. Okay. So as we know, as he said, this is a kiddush, China Shabbos, whatever, for my daughter. I'd like to say one thing about her, about who she's named after. So in the Gemara in Kedushin, they asked, how do we know that one's able to get married with money? Right? Marriage is a transaction, so there's many ways to do it. One of the ways to get married to a woman is through money. So we learn from this week's parsha. Avram bought the burial plot from Ephron in order to bury his wife Sarah, and over there it says Vayikach, that what language they use to say that he bought the burial plot with money. It says Vayikach, lashon of lukicha, taking. When it comes to marriage, it also says the same type of language, Vayikach leil isha, and you should take lokach, you should take a woman for to get married. So we know when there's two words that are the same, a lot of times it's a bridge to these two halachas. And we learn all the laws and the halachas from one part of the Torah to the other part of the Torah. So over here, you have the language of lakach when Avram tries to buy the burial plot for Avram, and that was done with money. And so too, getting married also uses the language of lakach, taking, which which means that just like Avram, when he bought the burial plot, he did with money, so too you learn out that marriage, which is using the same language, also could be done with money. So the Baba Rebbe asked, and I heard other people ask the same question, why do we specifically learn out this whole concept of marriage from Ephron and Avram? The Avram bought a burial plot from Ephron. Simply speaking, if Hashem wanted to, we can learn out from a different place. So he answered like this, that Avram bought the Mars Machpelah for, I don't know, they say millions of dollars, I don't know, a lot of money. Ephron, the buyer, the seller, he was more of a physical guy. So he just looked at this, it was just a cave. This cave was probably worth a couple $1,000s, it wasn't prime real estate. So he thought, the seller thought he was getting the best deal, right? I'm Jewing the Jew, right? I'm selling this this plot, this plot worth $1,000 for $1 million. I'm doing great. Avram, on the other hand, was more of a spiritual person. Avram knew that Adam and Chava were buried in the Mars Machpelah. Sarah is going to be buried here. Avram, all the other Imois and Avos, except for Rachel, were going to be buried here. So it's a very spiritual place, a great place for tefillah, for davening. So he saw this place the most amazing place. So he thought it was a steal. $1 million for this place, I would pay you, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So over here was a very interesting transaction. Most transactions, usually, guy's desperate, he sells, so the seller feels like he got gypped or whatever, and the buyer, or sometimes the buyer doesn't feel like he got a good deal. Over here, both the buyer and the seller, Avram and Ephron, thought they got the best end of the deal. So he said in marriage, and this could be applied to many areas of life, how do we have a successful marriage? Is if we both feel that we got the better end of the deal. If both the wife thinks about the husband, wow, the wife says, I got a great deal, and the husband thinks about the wife, wow, I got a great deal. I can't believe she married me. So that's how you make a successful marriage. That's what the Rebbe and others say. So I wanted to add a little bit. How does one get to this realization that he got the best end of the deal? Like, it's very nice and easy to say that, but maybe like, oh yeah, a good guy, so maybe she got the better end of the deal, right? I mean, but I was just joking. So yes, if someone has to obviously, in order to see the qualities in someone, he has to, right, love, cherish, right, really, right, have a lot of love for that person. I mean, and how does someone love a person? So the famous insight from Rabbi Dessler, he says that the more you give to a person, the more you love a person, right? And so how it works, if you love a person, and all of a sudden you'll see the great qualities in that person, then you'll feel like you got the better end of the deal. So my daughter's name is Tova Shprinza. Tova's from my mother's mother, and Shprinza's my father's mother. And I think a common theme that really they both were tremendous givers. And there's a little story about my grandmother, how she was really amazing, a real true giver. She was one of these retirees, went to Florida when she was 60, loved to play golf every day. So for my grandmother's 50th anniversary, so my mother decided, I'm going to buy you a flight to go to North Carolina, stay in a 5-star hotel, a beautiful golf course there, and really, paid a beautiful paid golf vacation. Great, it's a great deal. Love golf, like why not? She told my mother, that's what I need to go there. I'd rather spend time with the kids. And she didn't go on the trip. And it's always, she was never about herself. She was always about what she can do for the other person. She wasn't a fancy person, always about giving to us, and it's something that really we should all aspire to be like Tova, my grandmother, to be a giving person. So my father's mother, unfortunately didn't get to know, but let's put it in this perspective. You think you guys live in you live in a random place like Minnesota, like who lives here, right? But who lives in Sioux City, Iowa? Who ever heard of Sioux City, Iowa? Yeah. My grandmother, my father's mother and father, and my father's parents, back before Kira was in vogue, before Sameach and Aish, they decided, we're going to go to Sioux City, Iowa, and give to people, and be Merkar people, bring people, like bring people closer to Yiddishkeit. And in order to do that, to give up everything, to move to Sioux City, Iowa, you have to be a tremendous giver. And they had these, everyone at their house. You think my in-laws have random people. They had prisoners and all sorts of I found, like I tell you, all sorts of interesting people at the house. And in order to do that, you have to be someone who's a giver. And I think that's what you see from this week's parsha. And Moshe Hashem, I give a bracha to Tova that she should, Tova Sprinza, that she should also be like her great grandparents, be true givers, and with that she should have a lot of tzlacha. And Amen.